HVC. This is Brad making another video of the recent finds that I have made in the past few months. Have been kind of taking a break from making videos, and again that break was a little longer than I expected, but a lot of stuff that I need to cover for the month of August and September and October. And since my video was running way long last time, I decided to leave some of those other finds, some purchases in another video. And so this is that video. The first pickup that I made, it was early August when I picked this up. And I was fairly new to this group. Really had not heard, well, I heard all of their stuff on Spotify, but this is a band that's existed for at least 10 years, I think. Yeah, pretty close to maybe 12 or 13 years. And just recently picked them up on Spotify after learning about them. And this is Eagles of Death Metal. This is their third album, I believe, Heart On. That's Heart On. And I learned of this band actually through an HBO documentary. Colin Hanks, who is Tom Hanks, I'm going to put this down, Tom Hanks' son, is good friends with Jesse Hughes and good friends with Josh Homme, who's the other component to this band. In watching this documentary, I kind of started really light, where it just kind of showed the formation of the band and the intricacies of the friendship between Homme and Hughes. And then it took a turn that I wasn't expecting. I think it was foreshadowed in the beginning, but I had absolutely no idea what any of that meant. Now it's blatantly obvious. About halfway through the documentary, it was told that Eagles of Death Metal was was the group. They were the venue that was present and performing while the shootings at the Paris on, was it November 13th, I believe, of 2015. And so the later half is talking about dealing with that tragedy and getting back into rock and roll and getting back into performing on stage. And it's a really absolutely amazing story of a man who has a really, really big heart. And in that, not really able to do much, but other than try and save as many as he could and save himself. But I think that that's why I have the most I have a lot of appreciation for Jesse Hughes and a lot of respect for the man who really cares about his audience. And really cares about the people that come to his concerts. And so yeah, saw them, I mentioned this last video, saw them in September 25th, but I'll be playing a song off of this. This is their 2009 release. I think their latest album was released in 2015. Rock and roll, alternative rock is what Discog said. I don't really necessarily agree with that. Kind of a little bit of blues rock, and just a lot of energy. Some of the songs, Anything Except the Truth, Wanna Be in LA, High Voltage. One of my favorite songs, which I'll be playing, I'll do a needle drop on that, is Now I'm a Fool. Now I'm a Fool is a kind of about a relationship that didn't necessarily go exactly as he had hoped, whether it was kind of all of an illusion, or if that other person just wanted to be famous and so used his fame to be famous. I'm not 100% certain, but here is that needle drop.
I'm telling my friends about you. Not to say all the one, but I put down my guns, and then you went Hollywood on me. Now I'm a fool. I feel like the whole world knows, and I just can't escape it. Figured you're cool. I was so sweet on you, and it seems like a fake it.
All right, the next up is something completely different. All of these are different. I try and put together videos that have a wide range of different genres of music. The next one is, you could call trip hop, or kind of left field, and that is Bjork. I believe this is her debut album of 1995. I could totally be wrong on that. I do a horrible job of looking all this stuff up before I just hit record. But this album is 1995. Like I said, it's kind of trip hop, and this is on pink vinyl. It's very pretty, and I'll be playing. Love this album, by the way. I'll be playing "Army of Me," which is the very first song I ever heard by her. This is the second album that I've purchased of Bjork, but this is the first. "Army of Me" is the first song that I heard. Saw the video on YouTube, or not YouTube, MTV, long before YouTube, and just fell in love with the tapestry of the beat and everything. And so here is that needle drop, if you haven't heard Bjork's "Army of Me."
I won't sympathize anymore. And if you complain once more, you meet an army of me. And if you complain once more, you meet an.
The next album is a soundtrack that I picked up. This was actually, I think I picked this up sometime in July. I've seen this on, I think, Mondo's website. I also found this on Vinyl Victims channel. He did a great unboxing of it. And this is a soundtrack to one of my favorite movies, Fight Club. And I highly suggest to check out Vinyl Victims channel. I'm going to leave a link up here for that. He does a great unboxing of it, and the packaging has a lot of significance, and so he walks through all of that. I would not do it justice, and I know he did a great job, so I'm going to point it to his video. But it's also on pink vinyl, and I love this soundtrack, and I will be playing the song "Homework" off of this. It's I think the second actual song on side A. So here is this needle drop. The next album I'll be showing is a lot harder than the last couple that I've shown, and that is Prophets of Rage, their debut album. I've seen this album around, and I've also heard of who Prophets of Rage is, who are Rage Against the Machine, most of the members of Rage Against the Machine, Chuck D from Public Enemy, and B Real from Cypress Hill. And I was a big fan of Rage Against the Machine. I was a big fan of Cypress Hill. I was also a big fan of Public Enemy. And what motivated me to purchase this was Frank's. Frank mentioned this on one of his videos a couple weeks ago, 3030 RPM, that it sounded very much like the debut album of Rage Against the Machine, and I love the debut album. And let me quick show it really doesn't show in the needle drop very well, but this is kind of translucent red vinyl with like black in there. The quality of the vinyl is you got some bubbling right here if you can see it. It's really quite annoying. There's some noise, there's some clicks, there's some pops. I'm trying to think. I want to say it was either Rainbow or GZ Media who put this pressing together. I don't have a printout of this, but anyway, so I as of right now don't remember. But my thoughts. I was very disappointed that Zach De La Rocha wasn't on this album. It was members minus him, and then Chuck D and Be Real. I love Chuck D. I love Be Real. I think I would rather listen to Public Enemy or Cypress Hill or Rage Against the Machine. Don't necessarily think that this album is all that. I feel like the lyrics weren't very political or very deep. I feel like their hooks just weren't that satisfying, and so I kind of just listened to this, liked some of the guitar riffs, and that was it. One song I did like, which was Hail to the Chief, and I will play that in this needle drop. Here it is.
And he didn't even. They lie when they say we matter. Lies of a whole new chapter. Smile when you meet your master. Looking in the eye of the rapture. They lie when they say we matter. Some rather believe in a liar. Pride in the heart of believers. While the city ignites on fire. Where your life hangs in the balance. The innocent caught in the violence. Silence everybody that ain't like us. Devising words to divide us. Fear in the heart of the millions. 1% with their billions. Savage politicians got the whole world.
All right, we only have 2 albums left, and this next EP is from one of my favorite producers and DJs, and that is DJ Shadow. This is The Mountain Has Fallen EP, which is an extension of his last album, which was released last year, which is The Mountain Has Fallen. And so this includes 4 songs that are not on his last album. In this, I'll be playing Systematic featuring Nas. So here is that needle drop.
Yeah. The system will defeat itself. Nothing stays in a steady state. It overheats and melts. It only feeds itself. The system, yo, I think it exists just because, like a pit eats his pups, eats his own litter up. The system's fucked. It's corrupt. It's for his own survival. It's genocidal. No place of origin. No beginning cycle. Let's occupy all streets. It's crazy to think in the 80s I wanted minks.
All right, the final one is one that I'm probably most excited about in this video, and this is a group that when they first released stuff, I was not into. I was more into rap in the time, but they have a career that has spanned for 25, 30 years, and this group is 9 Inch Nails. This is their 1999 release, The Fragile. This is a remastering, re-release that Trent Reznor has meticulously oversaw the vinyl repressing and everything. This was also, let me double check here. This is also pressed by Palace USA, and Palas is one of the greatest pressing plants in the world. And so this is released on 3 LPs, and yeah, I don't know, this whole album is so good. I will pick something off of this for the needle drop, and here it is.
Myself keeps slipping away.
Well, VC, those are the remainder of the pickups that I purchased the last few months that didn't make it into the last video. And so I know I'm enjoying them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time. Take care.